During the time of some of the worst fitna this ummah has ever seen, there was a man in Basra who was a general in the army of Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, who was serving under Yazid ibn Muawiyah. So this general says that one day while I was on my rooftop, I fell down and I broke both of my legs. And as I was laying at home with both of my legs broken, the righteous scholar Abi Qilaba rahimahullah came to visit me. And he said to me, "Arju an yakuna dhalika khayra." I hope this was actually better for you. And so I responded to him and I said, "Ya Aba Qilaba, what in the world could be good about my legs being broken?" He said, "Listen, ma satara Allahu alayka akthar. What Allah protected you from, if your legs weren't broken, is better for you." So he says, 3 days later, I get this letter from Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad enlisting me to join an army to go fight Al-Husayn radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the grandson of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I responded to him and I said, "I can't join you because my legs are broken." And then a week later, I heard that they murdered Al-Husayn radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And I said, "Rahim Allahu Aba Qilaba. Qad sadaq. Innahu kana khayran li." May Allah have mercy on Abu Qilaba. He was so right that it was better for me. Had that not happened to me, I would have taken part in the crime of murdering the grandson of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We always see the if only of regret, but not the if only that Allah saved us from. Regret can be inescapable because we are human and we're going to make mistakes that have consequences beyond the immediate moment. And part of being human is sometimes miscalculating and making the wrong moves. And sometimes thinking that we made all the right moves, but everything still went wrong. The worst part is when we start to imagine all these alternate worlds and a different life, if only we had done things differently. And this is where the word comes in, if. And not every if is the same. There are ifs that cause doubt, there are ifs that cause learning, and there are ifs that actually cause gratitude. As for the ones that cause doubt, these are the ones that can make us challenge the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Don't say, if I had not done that, then this wouldn't have happened. وَلَكِنْ قُلْ قَدَّرَ اللَّهُ وَمَا شَاءَ فَعَلَ." Instead say, Allah did what He had ordained to do. Because the word if opens the doors of the shaitan. This is the if that convinces you that if you would have done something different, or if someone else didn't exist, or if a certain circumstance didn't arise, then the decree of Allah would have been different. But it was never going to be different. And this can lead you to hate yourself. It could make you hate others. It could make you hate the world. Or even worse, it could make you turn in hatred towards the heavens. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ said it opens the doors of shaitan. Because your head becomes a playground for shaitan, who starts to play with all sorts of possibilities that you think that you have. But you have to shut that door of if at the very beginning with قَدَّرَ اللَّهُ مَا شَاءَ فَعَلَ. That's the lock on the door, as firm as the plan of decree. Al-Qadi Iyad rahimahullah said about the phrase if only, that repeatedly thinking this can actually become a habit. And then this habit can remove all rida, all contentment from the heart of the believer. But there are good ifs. You have ifs that cause learning. And there is an important distinction between muhasaba, which is accountability, and hasra, which is regret. Evaluating mistakes and learning from them is muhasaba, and that's a foundational part of everyone's spiritual journey. The focus is on the actions, not the outcomes, as opposed to the if that causes doubt, which focuses on the outcomes, not the actions. And the Prophet ﷺ, he used to use this for teaching the companions. So in Hajj, the Prophet ﷺ said, وَلَوْلَا أَنَّ مَعِيَ الْهَدْيَ لَأَحْلَلْتُ. If only I wouldn't have brought my sacrifice with me, I would have exited my ihram. Or if I would have done this, I would have done something different here. So this is an if that becomes a teaching moment. You can also say if only when you regret missing out on a good deed. As Imam an-Nawawi rahimahullah said, تَأَسُّفًا عَلَى مَا فَاتَ مِن طَاعَةِ اللَّهِ, feeling sorry because you missed out on a way of obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.